Hello everybody, welcome to a new tutorial on BeepStreet Drambo from Sound for More. It's Leo speaking. Today I'm going to extend our knowledge and cover in depth the clip launcher. So let's get started, but before I do that, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. So first thing first, let's go to the hamburger menu, click on the new, and let's select one of the templates. Okay, and I recommend you select the first one, 8 tracks MIDI to CV. Now, for new users of Drambo, it has created a blank, empty 8 tracks, and for each track you have this module called MIDI to CV, which converts your MIDI signal to CV signals. Okay, as you recall, we have tracks underneath here, 1 to 8, including the main track, which allows you to see all the different tracks, and this is really nice, handy, because you can adjust the master volume for each one of them, the pan, the muting, the solo, and also do interesting connection. Again, refer to some of the previous video which I've done before version 2, which is still applicable. And of course you have access also to the master track. Underneath here you see the steps as we have seen in other tutorials, and then below you have the sequencer view. Okay, so here is where you create your racks. So they could be quite complex in terms of creating your instrument. You can add effects, etc. A lot of things. Again, if you've seen Drambo that is before, that will be familiar to you. If not, we'll go back to some of the previous tutorial I created. But let's click on the plus sign, and this opens up this window which allows you to select here different categories of racks or module that you want to add to that particular track. So you can select different categories, again for new users, and then you select to one rack or module from here. You can decide, for example, to include an instrument rack, which is empty, of course. That's not what we want at the moment, so click and hold and select delete. Of course, you can also swipe down to remove that module. So let's click on the plus sign again, and let's click on the right hand side here, which gives you the option to select a preset instrument from the factory category. So let's expand on Waves Kite, and let's select this nice acoustic guitar. This is a floating window, so you need to click on the X to close it. Okay, so you can use 2 fingers and scroll left and right without touching the controls. Okay. So let's record something that we are going to use for our patterns, clips, etc. The first thing I want you to do before we go there, click where it says 120, so for 120 bits per minute, disable clips auto grow recording, and I'll explain that in a second. I will do a dedicated tutorial on recording, but for now I want to show you the difference because that is a new feature. So click on recording and then play, and then press on some of the pads to record something. As you can see, it has recorded only one measure, and when it finishes playing and recording that measure, it starts again from the beginning and you can overlap. Indeed, when you have overlapping steps like that one, it will show a chord here. So if you have more than one overlapping step, of course you have multiple chords as well, which you can see here on the step view. Now, let's click and hold there and let's select clear. Okay, so we clear all of that. Let's try again, but this time we just say clips auto grow. Okay, so we click recording, then play, and then I play some pads. Okay, as you can see, the number of measures grows automatically. In this case, we have 3. And you can see all 3 up here on the step views, okay? But you can select a different measure here, like so. And of course, click and hold, and then drag, and then you can select the 3 measure, which is nice. You can see them like that. Okay, so let's disable recording. So now you know how the clips auto grow recording function works. So let's expand the view of the clip launcher. So here you can see at the top still the different tracks. So you can select 1 to 8, including the main and the master. Underneath here, you have all different clips for each of the different tracks, which will expand vertically. And then horizontally, you have a pattern. In some other programs, it's called scene as well. So you have that pattern there, which you can see with some notes there, okay, which is nice. Now, first, let's click on play, and it will play. Okay, so it will restart playing, and that's because first of all we have only one pattern, but secondly also because we have this loop function enabled. So we can disable that, but because there is only one pattern, it will go to the next pattern automatically, which is what you use for creating a song, and therefore it will give you it will repeat the same pattern. Okay, so let's give you an example. Let's duplicate that, and remember you need to select the one you're duplicating. So click on these these two rectangles with the plus at the front, and you duplicate that. And now let me show you, because we don't have the loop function enabled, that it will move from one to the next. And as you can see, when it is at the end, it will restart again at the beginning. Now you can move up and down between different patterns with this arrow, like so. And if you press down again, it will return back at the top. Okay, and the same, if I move up, it will go back to the very bottom one. Okay, and that is very handy if you want to use actually the arrow to move up and down to the next pattern. Something else I want to show you as well is that you can do the same clicking here. Okay, and look what happens. It changes quickly, right? You can see in the green where you are playing that pattern, okay, from beginning to the end. And when I click now to the next pattern, it changes immediately. If you want Drambo to change at the end of the measure and to have a sync launch, then click here. Okay, so let's try. As you can see, number 2 was flashing, waiting for the pattern number 1 to finish. And when it finished, got to the end of that measure, or the free measure, I should say, the end of the pattern, for track number 1, it moved to track number 2. So that is how you use sync launch. Okay, so the other thing I want to show you is if you swipe down as that clip is playing, you will stop there. Let me show you. So I swiped down as it was playing the first pattern on the clip under track number 1, and that stopped. Of course, you can reselect it with a single tap. If you want to know how to change those settings, click here on this hamburger menu here. Here is where you say stop clip, you swipe down. If you click on it, you can select the tap as well. So you have 2 choices. And then you have edit clip, which is a tap, double tap, or a tap again. So you can configure that as well. The other thing I want to show you is that here it says start from first pattern, and it is active. So if I select the second pattern, okay, and I press play, look, it will start from the first pattern, because here you have selected start from first pattern. If you deactivate that and you select the second pattern, press play, it will play the selected pattern. And remember that, because if you want to see a behavior at a specific pattern in your song creation, you need to have that disabled. Otherwise, every time you press play, it will start from the very top, which can be quite annoying. But again, there may be something you want, so enable or disable it as you like. In order to show you the next function added to follow song, I need to introduce something else. So let's go to track number 2, and let's say we stay to that clip which corresponds to pattern 2. Let's go to the rack view. Let's add these under generator and kick, which is a nice kick. Let's create now a little pattern. Instead of recording in real time, we just click on the step like so. And what you will see, it will create a step for the corresponding position where you clicked for new users. based on the pad you've selected here. So it says E2 because that is the last pad I selected. If I press C2 there and I press here, it will say C2. If I click on the step again, it will remove it. So in this case, I can have them all back to C2. Okay, let's click play. Okay, perfect. So we have created another clip, which you can see here on pattern number 2. Now let's select the clip for track 2, but on pattern number 1, and we have here selected editors follow song to off. Let's see what happens here where it shows you the step. At the moment it doesn't show you anything, right? And if I click on the second clip for track 2, it will show you the step. So let's go back to the first one, let's select the first pattern and let's click play. As you move to the second clip, well, the editor here didn't follow the clip that was playing, didn't it? So let me now enable that editors follow song, like so. Let's reselect again that first pattern, that clip under track number 2, and let's play again, but this time with editors follow song on. As you can see now, the steps have appeared, but also they appear here as well in this view of the clip. And that is because I have editors follow song activated. Okay, then again, it's up to you in what preference you like to use. So we have seen all the option right here on the right hand side, which is really nice. Okay, so let's continue our journey. If you click and hold, it will say P-lock clip at the top of the screen right here. So try again. And I will show you parameter lock in another video. But that is where if you click and hold, and then you can change the parameters on the rack and you can record that. If you click and drag, okay, so if you click and hold and drag, you copy that clip. Okay. So if you select that clip again, and if you swipe up, you have access to this menu where you can copy, paste, delete, or clear. And then you have an arrow here. If you click the arrow, you have access to transpose up and down by semi-step, semitones, up and down by octave. And then you have also shifting left and right. And you can also clear the parameter lock as well. So let's try, for example, swipe again, like so. Let's clear that. Let's go to that first track here, and let's play that, and let's activate also the loop. So we'll continue to play on that, and I will show you what happens when I change some of those parameters. Okay, so you have seen now transposing up and down, and also by semitones and also by octave. And of course, you can do much more. As I said, you can copy that, for example. You can go to another clip, swipe up, and you can paste that, and you have done that. Or again, swipe up, and you delete that as well. So the workflow is very fast with this swiping gesture. Now let's click on that clip again. If you swipe to the left, you go to the piano roll editor, which I will show you in a different tutorial. So very nice again. Now let's remove the loop and the sync launch. Let's focus on the left hand side. Okay, here you have your pattern. Click, okay, and here you can change the name. So for example, let's say we call these first, like so, and press enter, and you can see the name has appeared there, which is really nice. So you can give it a name. So really nice. Click and hold, let go. You can also change the repeat. So you can say repeat that pattern twice. So let's try. So as you can see, it has repeated, it has played twice the pattern before you move to the next one. So just remember that. So click and hold. You can change, as I said, the number repeat. Let's set back to that to 1. You can also change the step per bit, and you have 3 options, 3, 4, 5. And let me show you that to this clip, which is a little bit easier. So let's select that one. Okay, you can see down here. You see, pay attention here. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4 division. Okay, so click and hold. Okay, let's say that I want 3 bit. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. Click and hold again. Let go. Let's say that I want 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one, of course, which is not being recorded. And of course, you can go back to the default one, which is 4. Perfect. The other thing I want to show you here is at the moment there is only one measure. Okay, so click and hold, let go. You can change the bits in a pattern, so you can divide them by 2 or multiply them by 2. So let's multiply them by 2. You can see immediately here you have 2 measures, and the first one is being duplicated into the second one. Okay, and remember Drambo, when it plays one pattern, it will continue to play for the longest clip, and if there is one clip which is shorter, then that clip will be repeated in terms of playing. So what I mean by that is, let's divide that by 2. This one is 1 measure, this one is 3 measure. When this pattern is played, this clip here for track number 2 will be repeated 3 times, because this clip on track number 1 is 3 measures long. Okay, so remember that, because it's important in terms of understanding how Drambo works. And of course, when you're playing, you can also select different clips. So let me show you. Let's select the first one like that. Let's click play, and I can show you that I can tap on this one while it is playing. So you can play and you can activate clips as you like during the performance. Okay, so next, let's select that pattern there again. Click and hold, let go. You can insert, so you can see I have inserted one there. So click and hold on that one. You can remove it, like so. Select again that one, click and hold, let go. You can duplicate that, okay? And in this case, I have duplicated the one which was selected. Remember? Let me show you what happens here. Duplicate here, and duplicate the one which is selected again. Same here, if I click here, duplicate that, it duplicates the one which has been selected. Okay, so click and hold again. You can also copy, and you can also paste as well a pattern. Okay, so hopefully this covers the majority of the functionality on the clip launcher. As you can see, the gestures option improves significantly the way that that you can work on the clip launcher. Actually, before I leave, I want to show you also that if you swipe up on a track, you solo that track. You can see all the others have gone on mute. You see an S there, and all the others are in red. You can swipe up again to remove the solo, and if you swipe down, you mute that track. Okay, swipe again down, and then you unmute the track. Other things you will see is, actually, let me show you quickly. So let's move this one down. Let's minimize this so I can see a little bit the rack at the top. Let's select a clip here where I have an instrument. Let's say I change this pitch here. So click and hold on the clip for parameter clip. Let's change this. It goes red, and you can see also an indicator here that there is something in there which has been recorded as parameter lock. Again, swipe up, move to the right hand side, clear P-lock, and it's gone. Additionally, if you're recording and you change one of the parameter, you see I recorded the automation there, and you see an A here on that clip, which means you recorded some automation. And to remove that, well, go to the automation editor. You can see that one recorded there. Okay, click there and then say clear. Oops, click on that and then say delete. You go clear and delete at the same time, and then the A has disappeared from there. Okay. One last thing I want to show you in this video is, because not many people realize, there are a lot of functionality which have been added in Drambo, but also how great it is in terms of performance. So let me load a project which I already created using vSynth. Click and load, done. So I have one track with VHS synth, second track as well. Third one I have a kick, the fourth one again I have VH synth, fifth one I have some snare, sixth one again the same audio unit, seventh one as well, and then some hi-hat on the eighth one. And I have recorded a quick composition, didn't spend long on it. Again, I'll leave you with that as I'm closing the video to show you how great Drambo has become with this version 2. Okay, let's start. See you. Bye.